So guys, True Monarch here, and this is my first place True King Dinosaur deck profile. So let's get into it. To start off with the main deck, I play double Tyranno, double Overtex, boss monsters. I decided to play two of each, because 3 Tyranno is too much. You don't... it's somewhat a brick in your opening hand. Well, if you brick, you wouldn't want to see Tyranno too much. It would cost more bricks, definitely. As for Overtex, typically what I do is mill it with Overraptor or pop it with Diagram in case I draw it, and search a pill, then use pill to summon another Overtex from the deck. That's if I'm going first. Then during my opponent's turn, I negate with it, search another pill, use it, go into Tyranno. So basically, when I can actually attack, that's why I would go for Tyranno after Overtex. And for the play starters, 3 Overraptor, MVP of the deck, Stratos on crack, and 1 Miscellaneous Orus, only 1, unfortunately. For the babies, 3 Baby Ceresaurus, 2 Pteranodon. I only run 2 Pteranodon because I have 3 Diagram. In less Diagram-reliant builds, I would run 1 max. As for the rest of the dinos, 1 Megalosmasher, 1 Giant Rex, 1 Jurak Aiolo, 1 Dogoran. These are pretty self-explanatory. Megalosmasher comes in handy sometimes with the Water True King. Sometimes I end up searching it just so I can use its effect. Or otherwise, maybe in combination with Lost World. But mainly just another useful level 4 when I don't want to summon Overraptor or Giant Rex is already on the field, for instance. And for the True Kings, triple Agni Mazud and 1 Barastos. So 3 fire, 1 water. And for the hand traps, 3 Ash Blossom. Recently, people have been maining Ghost Ogre and Veiler, or Veiler, sometimes more than Ash, but in our particular meta, Ash is more relevant. So I stuck with 3 Ash. Now, for the spells, my Searcher, triple Fossil Dig, also an MVP. Double Evolution Pill. Again, 3 is too much. I don't always have... I can't always guarantee a non-dino engrave. Yet again, 1 isn't enough, because I often want to resolve it more than once in the duel. Now, God of the deck, triple Dragonic Diagram, and 1 Lost World. And 3 Terraforming to search them. Either one. Sometimes Lost World is better than Diagram, typically in late game, or depending on the scenario. Perhaps going second. It depends. So just in case, 1 Lost World. And for the one-offs, 1 Foolish Burial, typically Overtex, Miscellaneous Orus, or in some cases Giant Rex to banish it with Tyranno or Pill. Monster Reborn, back at 1 at last. 1 Dark Hole, 1 Raigeki. Dark Hole sometimes helps unbrick my hand, in which case I just normally summon a baby, activate Dark Hole, then summon an Overraptor with the baby. Typically Overraptor. Now, for the extra deck, 1 Trishula, self-explanatory. 1 Catastor. I personally couldn't get my hands on a Chambara, so I'm just sticking with this for now. 1 Cloud Castle to bring back the True King or Trishula. And 1 Mistworm. This is unusual, not played much, but going second, I find this could potentially be better than Trishula. This bounces 3 cards from my opponent's field to the hand, non-targeting. So in case my opponent has more field presence, I would favor this over Trishula. Now for the Xyz, one Castell, mainly because I found that I don't have a simple removal of as an excuse. The rest are mainly negations, or for Baguska stall cards. One Dolka, one Lagia, and the Utopia package for big monsters, well, bigger than Tyranno that is. And one Baguska, mainly use this in case I brick. And one Phantom Fortress. In some cases, I typically go for Calamities, but this plus Trishula is a double Omega play that helps me remove 2 cards from my opponent's hand. So in case my opponent is low on resources, I would typically go for this rather than Calamities. Helps kill them off completely. One Tornado Dragon for spell trap removal, and one Calamities shuts down all their monsters. And to clear out the extra zone, typically in late game, one Decode and one Underclock. Now for the side deck, 3 chase targets. Okay, so obviously Omega for the Lightsworn zombies and double Helix for the spirals. And this thing was mainly because I faced, we had Goki in the tournament, but the build was somewhat peculiar. It's mainly reliant on Crystal Wing and Naturia Beast. So I currently do not own a Naturia Beast, so I just stuck with this. Those were the 3 matchups I was mainly worried about. So I put these 3 as cherries targets. And of course, 3 cherries. And 3 Rastafir mode, since the matchups I was worried about are somewhat board-based. Well, in the case of Lightsworns, I would tribute the Omegas. But yeah, Spiral Nightmares and let's say Goki. And 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance, effective against almost every deck around. And my deck isn't very spell reliant. The only spell that I would really rely on is Fossil Dig. So it's worth it to side anti-spell. And 3D barriers, self-explanatory, now less useful than previously since links aren't included, but still really good. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.